Beautiful evening sky buffeting this center court, Crandon Park Tennis Center.
Present, Caroline Wozniacki. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. At the back of the court, any seats, please now.
So a few folks making their way to their seats as we'll take a moment to get things started. Boy, that's a clean strike to start things off.
Lovely.
So Safarova knows that she really needs to drive her ground strokes. That forehand is what she's going to be looking for to open up the court. But Safarova backhand very solid as well. Moves extremely well. She's got nifty backhand drop shot.
And Safarova has so much experience, having raised Grand Slam trophies in doubles, Olympic medal, Fed Cup success.
Got to the finals of the French a couple of years ago, losing a 3-setter to Serena. That was really the height of her career. Got all the way up to number 5 in the world.
Yeah, just a little wide. And that might be one of the keys. Can Safarova find a way through, a way around Wozniacki's defenses?
Not easy. The foot speed of Caroline Wozniacki is phenomenal. And also her point-to-point mentality. She gives you nothing. Very infrequently will give you a free point. She has such tremendous concentration from start to finish, just about every match. So the key for Safarova is maintaining that good court positioning, so hitting the ball early so that she can, as you said, try to get through the defenses and widening the court, mixing in some angles. That's a great combination there. That leftiness, using that forehand, shorten the court, acute angle, getting Wozniacki off the court, and then hits the next ball early. The key for me is if Safarova can sustain that level, the right ratio of offense and defense. Being offensive, but keeping the unforced errors down.
Oh, interesting exchange there. Safarova had earned some position inside the baseline. Wozniacki with a deep two-hander pushed her back outside it. So I guess there will be a real estate battle today that's going to be vital for both of them.
And for Wozniacki, it's important that she has that aggressive mentality, because you know her default mode is to go back to defense and relying on her wheels because she's so good at tracking that extra ball down. But she's got to still maintain that aggressive mentality of driving through the ball, going up and out on her first serves. Especially on that forehand down the line. See, that's twice in the point that Wozniacki's forehand down the line was short.
Yeah.
It was right about the service line. That goes right to Safarova's weapon, that forehand. And she opened it up right here with another angle. Got Wozniacki off the court.
Yeah, Safarova's playing in her 12th Miami event, just an indication of the experience she has. 30 years of age. Wow, took that early. Inside the baseline and right at the top of the bounce.
And we started to see that type of play from Safarova in beating Cibulkova in her last round.
Net versus
That was the first top 5 win for Safarova in a couple of years.
Well, she starts off well with a break of serve, jumping all over that sort of slower delivery from Wozniacki. So Safarova on the board first. And a chance to serve now and underline this break advantage. Mentioned the 7 previous meetings. Wozniacki winning the hard court edge. They played 5 times on a hard court, 3-2 Wozniacki. A couple on clay that they split as well. But I think you're right. I think Wozniacki needs to maintain a little more aggressiveness than she showed in that game.
Look at that, 9th quarterfinal in the last 10 tournaments.
That's a lot of winning tennis,
That's
isn't
a
it?
lot of matches that she's won.
Including a couple of finals in Doha, Dubai, playing well in the Middle East. 3rd round at the Australian Open. So she's always winning tennis matches, it seems. Oh, she missed it.
Yeah, I think she got distracted by Wozniacki, and I think Safarova was up there quick enough that she could have actually hit this ball, not tried to use that deft touch. The thing with Wozniacki is she has such great anticipation as well as foot speed. It's a terrific combination to have. Look at that serve. That's the lefty serve. It's only 80 miles per hour, but has so much slice that it just kept chasing Wozniacki, went right into her midsection. Couldn't get anything on it. And Safarova will continuously pick different spots in the service box to hit, always keeping you guessing. And then she's got that serve up the tee, so then it's tough to just protect that wide one.
Yeah, these lefty serves, they're either tailing away from you or getting into your body, hard to get out of the way.
You don't think of her as a big server, but actually started Miami 4th in terms of percentage of service games won because of this variety.
Yeah, that's a bit better. And that time, she just ripped that backhand up the line.
And that's her favorite shot, is the backhand. She really commits to that side, steps into it, and it has a lot more weight on that backhand wing than the forehand does.
And Caroline doesn't seem like a player who wants to run around the backhand to get to the forehand. She's got such a great two-hander.
You'll see her run around the forehand to hit a backhand.
Yeah. Still a chance for Safarova to get to 2-love.
Great play there from Wozniacki, just lifting it with a little more shape, got up above the shoulders of Safarova. Tough for her to get much on it up there. So like most players, Safarova likes the ball right about hip level. Getting a good groove.
Well, you can't afford to be missing that kind of ball. You've earned that position, earned that opportunity. Good attacking tennis there. The first serve helped get her in a good position.
But this is a typical service game against Wozniacki. Safarova up 40-15, and Wozniacki just hangs around, just makes it so difficult to get across the finish line. Nicely done. Steps inside the court, 3 feet there.
Yeah, and maybe that one was a little more in that strike zone you talked about than the previous forehand that she missed.
Yeah, and good cover there. Just enough topspin for safety. Very close on that second serve.
So 2-love it is for Safarova. Mentioned the 12 Miami appearances. She's been quarterfinals. This is her best result. She's been third round here 5 times, so she's always been knocking on the door, and she's certainly gone through here in 2017. She's lost to some pretty top flight competition. Serena Williams, Jelena Jankovic, Maria Sharapova, Victoria Azarenka. And sometimes your opportunities can be measured. Okay, well, who am I playing against and what are my chances this week? That's a murderer's row of players on the women's side. So oftentimes it's about the draw you have.
Well, and that you're not seeded anymore. Lucie Safarova now 36 in the world. And with this result alone, she'll probably dip into the top 30, and That's going to make life a lot easier, and she's playing so much better. Lucie lost in the second round at the Australian Open to Serena. As an unseeded player, you could meet Serena anytime.
Yeah, that's pretty rough, seeing Serena in your section that early. Yeah, my career might have looked a bit different had I gotten a few better draws. I felt the draws really worked against me.
Maybe a different racket.
That's right, different racket. Well, they say they make your own draw. Get a few good wins, open things up. I guess ask Roger Federer about that. He created opportunities for himself, getting through difficult phases of that Australian Open. Played well in Indian Wells, too.
You see, it's 17 at the Australian.
15.
So Wozniacki not looking quite as sharp tonight as she did against Muguruza in her fourth round match. Muguruza had to retire after losing the first set, but Wozniacki was really striking the ball well out in front. That's better.
Boy, that serve had some real depth. She was flirting with the line, but it earned her that short backhand. So fights off one break point.
If you're Safarova, I'd love to see her get that return back to the forehand of Wozniacki if possible.
Deuce.
Good serve there, because Wozniacki's favorite serve in the ad is up the tee. She naturally kind of carves around it, so pronated well to get it out wide. Same thing there. Got to the Wozniacki forehand. Wozniacki a little short with her shot.
Advantage.
To the Safarova forehand, and then she unloads, takes control of the point.
Yeah, nice combination. See the preparation there. And that racket face coming from below the ball, up the back edge. So third break point chance. She's got a second serve here.
So when Safarova stands inside the baseline, she's trying to rob Wozniacki of time, but she's also robbing herself of time. So she's got to take a shorter backswing on the return. Got caught late there.
Well, she gets that forehand right. I'm sure she'd like to have hit that one on break point, but it gives her another chance.
That's the side that she plays in doubles. So playing with Bethany Maddox-Sands, she's hit that return thousands upon thousands of times.
It sure looked like it.
Deuce.
Just mistimed it.
Advantage.
Kind of at the exact wrong time. There had to be sooner and hit this on the rise or back up. Preferably, I think sooner would have been the best.
Better handling of that high ball there. She got away from it and then went to it.
Deuce.
There's long games here in the early goings.
I showed both ways there. That one was on the rise, and then this one let it come down into a comfortable strike zone.
Advantage. Safarova.
So this is break point number 5 in this game. So Wozniacki has not felt much comfort at all, at least here in the early goings of this quarterfinal.
Better job from Wozniacki, getting closer to the sidelines. Incurring a little more risk. Peter Wozniacki on the right, father and coach, and Sasha Bayin, hitting partner for Caroline Wozniacki.
During play, please keep playing.
Yeah, and maybe the best point she's played tonight, that was just to get back to deuce.
Yeah, but more offensive.
Exactly. She's going to need a little more of that. Otherwise, Safarova is going to try and boss these points, make her do most of the running.
Thank you. Please. Advantage, Wozniacki.
Of course, you're thinking, okay, well, it's just that one game, but this is a significant moment for Wozniacki to fight off all this pressure, get yourself established in the set, maybe even turn it around. That's just what she does. Like, it hasn't been pretty so far, but Wozniacki will be happy to have just that one game on the board. It hasn't been a comfortable 3 games for her, trying to get comfortable with her outfit as well.
Thank you. Any available seats for now?
How disappointing is that for Safarova? 5 break points, and she's still up just a single break. Just kind of forget about it, move on.
Well, I think you got to look at the positive, the fact that she's still up a break. That's going to happen in tennis, and if you linger too far in the past, or in the past at all, you're not going to have many victories because there's so many ebbs and flows in matches. That's probably the last thing that a lot of players get, is that maturity of just recognizing next point, next point. Although for someone like Caroline Wozniacki, I think that's what she had all along, you know, even as a junior. And that's really one of Wozniacki's best assets, is her ability to stay positive no matter what the scoreline is. Very rarely see any negativity from her.
Oh my. She has missed some shots tonight that you wouldn't expect her to miss. That is for certain. Right on top of the net.
I think some of these are because of Caroline Wozniacki's speed.
I
Just
think
the
you're right.
respect that she has for Wozniacki.
Yeah. She runs so well, you feel, oh, I got to do a little bit more with the ball.
Got to cut it too fine, get distracted. One thing recreational players can learn from Wozniacki is just shot selection. When she's off balance, like she was there, you rarely see her try for a big shot like she just did. That was a real outlier. Usually she waits till she's on balance. How about that slider?
Boy, it's got to be a little frustrating when your primary weapon, your favorite shot, is letting you down like it is for Safarova at the moment. So here's a chance for Wozniacki. Well, just moments ago was points down to go 3-love down, and instead she's got a chance to get to 2-all. So Caroline is not completely convinced, thus the challenge. Although she is standing in the deuce court ready to receive in case it goes like that. Half on the paint.
Ms. Wozniacki has 2 challenges.
Safarova takes her time before her serve. I love that. Doesn't rush. Not so methodical that it's irritating. Really gives it a good thought. So she's got to clean up these forehand mistakes.
Did you ever have a moment where your best shot, say your two-handed backhand, started missing? Did you ever, oh my gosh, what's happened here? Or were there a couple of adjustments you were able to make?
Yeah, I think this is where she needs to keep driving the ball, Safarova, but give herself bigger margins. And if the point goes 5, 6, 7, 8 shots, she's fine with that. Safarova has good foot speed herself. She has to be willing to work the point.
There's that backhand up the line. So accurate. And there was a bit of margin, too. She got it well over the net, landed deep in the corner.
Wozniacki's backhand is so interesting because it's predominantly left hand. She has a different grip with her right hand. It's more of a forehand grip, so she doesn't get a lot. That right hand is just kind of going along for the ride. Left hand doing most of the work.
Well, she did well to track it down, but just too much pressure.
Last game was 8.5 minutes. That third game, this is a lengthy one as well. That's the toughest serve for a lefty to hit, that one out wide on the deuce court. And Safarova finds a beautiful angle from the same toss. Very difficult to read it. A little over 6 minutes.
I hope that watch has a good battery. These are some long games, early goings, and it's always so vital early in a set, what's happening, establishing leads.
It's a big no-no right there in tennis. When you're pushed well behind the baseline, take the net out of the equation. Can't try for an angle at that point. Nicely done. Way to step up on that forehand side from Wozniacki. Generating more pace.
Advantage Wozniacki.
Yeah, great camera angle there. You can see her just finding that inside edge of the ball. Break point number 4 in this game. Wozniacki rewarded for all these determined moments just to hang in here. She hasn't been at her best, but she's avoided falling into a very deep deficit, very deep hole. She'll be happy that she can look over the scoreboard and see 2 games all instead of love 4.
Great problem solving there from Wozniacki. Got herself the break point by being really offensive with the forehand, and the last point, almost a moon ball. Huge change of pace.
Yeah, temperatures this evening in Miami about 75 degrees.
It's been nice for the entire tournament. A few rain delays here and there, but for the most part, it's more humid, obviously, here than Indian Wells.
Yeah, 76% humidity, so that's a factor. The winds tonight, pretty mild at 6 miles per hour.
Again, that loopy ball effective for Wozniacki. Safarova not knowing what to do with that. Misfiring when she tries to hit it early. Ooh, catches the line.
Did Wozniacki get that ball back into play?
I think the call came before she hit it. So either way, gotta replay it. Terrific depth again from Wozniacki. She's deep behind the baseline. She gets plenty of air over the net, gets the short ball. You know, great shot selection. It's something that you can improve, but Caroline just seems to have the innate ability to know where she is on the court, what shots are available to her. Rarely goes out of her comfort zone. if in trouble, just get that ball back deep. Try to get the point back to neutral.
Yeah, a little hint of frustration there from Safarova. Too many unforced errors on that forehand wing, and here's Wozniacki, a chance to actually get the lead. She's done this with her legs, she's done it with her head and her heart. Hasn't hit a lot of great shots, she's hit a lot of good ones. Good return.
40-30.
Yeah, she doesn't have faith in that linesperson. She was shortchanged on one that maybe caught the edge. This one looked like it might have missed, but let's see what Hawkeye tells us. Yeah, a little long. So Wozniacki takes a 3-2 lead, and she's asked for her coach, her father, to come down and visit. Caroline's father, Peter, in for a coaching visit. A chance for us to just get a quick reminder of what the draw looks like. Earlier today, Karolina Pliskova advancing to the semifinals. Bottom half of the draw is active today.
Yeah, Pliskova had lost to Lucie Safarova in the quarterfinals at the Australian Open, 6-4 in the third, so a little revenge there. Through decisively in straight sets, and you have Angelique Kerber, #1 in the world, against Venus Williams. Venus looked spectacular last night against Kuznetsova. Taking Kuznetsova out in straight sets. Halep, by the way, in her match against Stosur, saved a match point and was down a set in 5-2. So that might be a turnaround match for Halep in 2017.
Safarova, 2-3. We've been talking about Lucie's serve. Caroline's return, one of the best in the game. She always gets a racket on the ball, and when she has a little bit of time, and you can see when the contact's clean, she can be dangerous.
She might be getting a better read on it as well after a few games. Really important on that short, wide serve in the ad court that Wozniacki cuts off the angle.
Just looking at the schedule tomorrow, Venus and Angelique, they're going to play their quarterfinal in the evening. They'll be under the lights for a spot in the semis. Another good backhand return.
Yeah, Venus has won this 3 times. It's her really home tournament. I think it's advantageous for her to play in the evening when it's a little cooler.
And Safarova continues to struggle. And one last thought on Venus. Boy, her match against Kuznetsova, that was some of the best tennis I've seen her play.
From start to finish.
Yeah,
because
wonderful match.
She's been having some slow starts, but she came out with a wonderful sense of urgency, intensity. I think because she had so much respect for Sveta. And the other thing, it was great to see there was no tape on Venus's body, not on the elbow or the upper thigh. So she moved well. She was offensive, and the forehand, backhand's always great, but the forehand, Venus was really driving through.
Deuce.
Well, Safarova tried a couple into the backhand and burned that time into the forehand to get back to deuce.
the way to get on the front foot for Safarova.
Advantage, Safarova.
Gosh, that serve would be so hard to return. Wozniacki outside the alley there. So much court for Safarova. I want to say Shavashava. You hear the chair umpire call her that. That's apparently the appropriate way to say the Czech name. Or something like that.
Don't look at me when you say that. I know her as Lucie Safarova.
I think we all do. But we've hung around Martina for a bit.
Yeah, Martina will give you the official pronunciations from their home nations.
Really a great story for both these ladies. Leaf on the rise. Obviously, Wozniacki, former world #1, ended #1 in the world a couple of years. There was even talk. Her father and coach, Peter Wozniacki, an article during the U.S. Open last year, mentioned the word retirement. She wanted to hear nothing about it. Of course, the U.S. Open was the end of a very trying period for Wozniacki, who sprained her ankle during the clay court season last year. Missed the clay court season. Very bad sprain. Had some other injuries in the summer. Finally was able to turn it around at the U.S. Open, getting to the semifinals there. Lost to Kerber.
Yeah, she came in ranked 74 at that U.S. Open, so she was...
If she had lost it...
way down.
Yeah. If she had lost to Taylor Towns in that first round, she would have been outside the top 100. She beat Taylor, I think it was 7-5 in the third. Clawed her way into that match.
And then followed that up with wins over Kuznetsova, Madison Keys.
And Wozniacki won a couple of titles in the fall, so completely has turned her career back around.
Threads the needle. Beautiful passing shot up the line. So Wozniacki takes the 7th game. It's been an up and down affair so far, but we're on serve 4-3.
You go.
33rd edition of the Miami Open. Quarterfinal action for the ladies tonight. Wozniacki 4-3 up. Lucie serving new tennis balls in the 8th game. That's a good deep return. And it's a nice option if you're returning serve. You're not sure where to hit it. Just hit it hard right down the middle.
That second serve was short. Safarova's got to maintain her depth. Though it has a lot of spin. wide danger zone here for Safarova. I watched her play Cibulkova. That was the best match I've seen Lucie play in a long time. She was just so dialed in with her serves, with her footwork. She was very alert. Ground strokes were penetrating deep into the corners. Cibulkova, terrific defensive player as well, like Wozniacki. Cibulkova has a little more firepower, though. Oh.
Well, it's just getting away from her.
But it was great to see Lucie play so well again. She had that great run, Leaf, where she got to the semis of Wimbledon 2014, finals of the French 2015. And it was the summer of 2015 after the US Open that she had to deal with that bacterial infection. Actually was in the hospital
Yeah, she was in the hospital
end.
for a week. That's just scary.
First round of antibiotics didn't work. And finally started playing again and played the WTA finals in Singapore. Probably wasn't ready for it, but she'd never made it before in singles. It really slowed her down for the start of 2016. And when you start to have the losses, you lose your confidence.
And she didn't start really playing until February that year as a result. She just wasn't completely right.
Nicely done. So unfortunate. You're playing it at the peak of your powers, then all of a sudden this, you end up in the hospital. It's taken her a while to get back. I think the success in doubles has helped her to have those bunches of wins. With Bethany Maddox-Sands, they won the Australian Open this year for the second time.
Yeah, doubles gives you that reminder of the winning habit, even if you are sharing the court with your partner.
Advantage Safarova.
Well, Safarova finds a way through a very tough game to get to 4 games all. Here's the doubles you were talking about, the Australian Open. Bethany Maddox-Sands at the net. There's a lot of leaping going on here in celebration.
This was a big moment for Team Bussy, and this is a dance that they had practiced all fortnight with Sean T. And at the last moment, they decided to do it at the trophy presentation. First time this has been done in Tennis Leaf, and they were fantastic.
Well, it is a new season of Dancing with the Stars, and here are a couple of tennis stars dancing. Not sure what Lem would say.
We need to have a tennis player go on that show and actually get through the first round.
I think we're 0 for 3. I think Hingis did it in London.
Yep.
Out in the first round. Martina.
And then
It's
Monica,
not often those
Monica
legends.
Seles.
Yeah, not often legends have first round losses like that.
I remember Martina telling me that she said, I just couldn't think of that many body parts and what they were supposed to do, all the way down to my fingers.
And they make it look easy.
30 love.
I think maybe Justin Gimelstob might be the next guy. What do you think? Think you Dancing with the Stars?
Let me think about it. We'll come up with someone good.
Oh, she got there, but Safarova does a nice job closing off the net.
30-15.
Justin should go on The Bachelor.
Well, that's
I think that fits
probably,
him perfectly,
yeah, that might be straight down his line.
so to speak, straight down the line.
Uh-oh.
30.
Now, both players have been a little fragile on serve. 4-all, 30-all.
Wozniacki feeling quite comfortable in those
40-30.
longer exchanges. She can go all day with those ground strokes, pinpoint accuracy.
Correction was good. This was Wozniacki challenging the call on the left near side. Both called in.
Yeah, overruled by the chair. Caroline challenging the overrule.
Is out.
Game was accurate.
That's a good challenge. It was so close. I thought it might have been good. Hawkeye tells us otherwise. So the scoreline looks like this. 5-4. Back in Miami, Caroline Wozniacki sitting comfortably at 5-4. We're on serve in this opening set. It's been a bumpy set of tennis. We've traded breaks early on. Safarova looked to be in the ascendancy, but Wozniacki struck back, and we've held serve since then. Safarova trying to hang on to her serve.
Safarova started this match very quickly out of the blocks. Much better than Wozniacki. She was driving the ball to the corners, but she just couldn't sustain that.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Mistakes started to creep in.
Behind the server. Thank you.
And these two haven't played for a couple of years. Last time was Stuttgart on clay. Wozniacki won. Which is interesting because that was right before Safarova got to the finals of the French. It was weeks before.
15.
And both these players have advanced to the quarterfinals without losing a set. So something has to give tonight.
Down.
Oh boy.
Got to make a shot like that
15.
at this critical moment in the set. That's Lucie's big weapon right there. Forehand, middle of the court. Just kind of got stuck with her feet.
Nearing an hour of tennis, exactly. Gee, there's another one. And it's interesting, Cibulkova, her last opponent, plays with so much pace, and Wozniacki maybe not giving her the kind of pace she enjoys.
But you still have to make those. Just give yourself a bigger target, build the point.
She anticipated that ball.
But Safarova had 2 opportunities to take those out of the air as swing volleys. Didn't, and it cost her.
Yeah, Caroline Wozniacki battles her way through to take that opening set 6-4.
Pliskova, by the way, her 4th semifinal of the season.
Wow. That's a lot of winning tennis.
23 match wins.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Quiet, please. Thank you. Love it.
So for Safarova, she's got to put her head down and get back to work. Yes, that's a difficult set to lose after having that slight lead at the beginning of the set. One thing you know against Wozniacki, you've got to resign yourself that it's going to be a long day at the office. You're going to have to work for every point. You're going to have to earn every point. And Wozniacki doing a great job of throwing up those high balls mid-point.
Yeah, I think that's been a significant tactic for her. Because Safarova's missed a few of those, hasn't she? Remember, she swung and missed one entirely.
Yeah, not only missed a few, but also has hit her response to that short. I'd like to see Safarova take a few of those out of the air. That would get Wozniacki thinking about the fact that she can throw those up so easily.
Continues her winning ways in the second set. And she seems to be, as usual, very solid and maybe just picking up the pace a bit. I've been impressed with how she served tonight. It's been effective at times and consistent at others. I mean, both have had a few moments where they've thrown in a couple of double faults. I think Wozniacki is going to be happy with how she's served.
I think most importantly, she's mixed it up nicely. Sometimes she can get predictable, but she's even thrown in some body serves. But you say Wozniacki back to her winning ways, and winning becomes a habit. She's won so many matches this year, Wozniacki, that she just feels comfortable to problem solve her way out of situations, doesn't panic. Any trouble at all, Wozniacki throws up that looper. Brings the point back to neutral.
Love 15.
Yeah, and Safarova hasn't made the adjustment to that ball, has she? Whether it's the swing volley or coming in at the right time, I don't know what it would be, but should she try and take that in the air?
Absolutely. At set point, she had 2 opportunities, and
she's got this one down. This is a nice ball. I think this is a more comfortable strike zone for her. Inside out winner.
Wozniacki lost to Mladenovic in the quarters at Indian Wells. After winning the first set, Mladenovic became more aggressive. That's the way. And there's no way around it. Safarova's going to have to be more aggressive. That's the only way she can beat. She's not going to outsteady Wozniacki. So it's all about going after her shots, keeping the unforced errors down, but she has to keep her foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, a couple of nice backhands there, right into the corner.
Game, Shabbat.
Boy, 3 straight backhand winners. And that has to feel good after the mighty struggles she has had to be consistent.
But it's that type
Ladies
of
and
play
gentlemen, please do not use flash photography during play. Thank you.
that it takes to beat Wozniacki at the moment. Just the last few tournaments, Wozniacki lost to Konta in the 3rd round at the Australian Open.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure you turn your flash.
Konta, we know,
Mode
has a
off,
big
please.
game.
Thank you.
Pliskova, the finals of Doha. Svitolina, the finals of Dubai. I think at that point, Svitolina's been playing awfully well, but at that point, Wozniacki was a bit fatigued. These are aggressive players. Caroline, when asked why she's been playing so well, she said, "First, I've been healthy."
That is always such a key, isn't it?
And she just,
Particularly for someone who runs as much as she does, she really needs to have her fitness right on the money. Points of the evening. And the crowd comes to life with this brilliant play. Moments of decisive play like this. Can she string a few more of these together?
40-10.
I'm told from Alice Sin, the obvious people on the men's side, Monfils for Dancing with the Stars, and Roger Federer.
Yeah, I had another suggestion from Bonnie Underwood. She said Joe Wilfred Songa
I like it.
for Dancing with the Stars.
Game Wozniacki.
So we've been talking about the men. Maybe Lucie Safarova on the women's side. She was doing the dance with Bethany Maddox-Sands.
Well, that's how we thought of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Wozniacki is 2-1.
2-1 Wozniacki. Quarterfinals from Miami. Caroline Wozniacki has the edge 6-4. And we're early in the second set. I'm Leaf alongside Tracy. You can reach out to us on Twitter if you like. Thoughts on this match? Thoughts on who'd be a dancer? I don't know. Maybe we'll talk more about that. Who knows? Although Joe Wilfred Songa might be a good suggestion, although he's injured, so maybe that wouldn't be a good time for him.
New father. Maybe he doesn't have the time.
Fifteen.
There's the angle that she's hit so well at the beginning in the first set to try to get Wozniacki off the court.
Well, it's one of her best games of the night. I'd love to get to 2 games all. Maybe try and build a little bit of momentum from that good game. Safarova, František Cermak is her coach. Of course, Caroline Wozniacki, her father Peter is her coach, but she's also added a hitting partner, Sasha Bayin.
I think it's really smart. He was a hitting coach of Serena for years, maybe 5, 6, 7 years. Very knowledgeable about tennis. Again, that loop is really dumbfounding Safarova.
And
the hitting partners are so important because
I was going to say,
hit any ball. They need a heavy slice, they can do it. Heavy topspin, slice serve, whatever it is. Every day, having that great player to practice against. I'm surprised more of the men don't have hitting partners.
Well, it seems like the guys tend to, find practice partners amongst themselves. It doesn't seem like on the WTA they hit with each other as frequently. Is that a fair statement? No, too bad.
Yeah, I think they will hit with each other more frequently than the women do, but I also think at Indian Wells you saw many of the men who were just looking for local pros. They were looking for juniors to hit with. You don't know what kind of practice that's going to be, and you need that guaranteed great warm-up.
Yeah, and as well as in your training periods when someone's going to push you hard, get you used to pace, and as you said, the spin, the variety, whatever is required.
Game Wozniacki.
So Wozniacki gets into the game, and we continue on serve in the second set.
Wozniacki leads 3 games to 2. Net whistle.
Just saw Peter Wozniacki out, and I must give Peter and Caroline so much credit.
Ladies and gentlemen, please do not use flash photography. Thank you.
He's been our coach all along, and that's a tough line to walk with being a coach and a father.
It's on the top level?
Like the middle level in the suite.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you turn it off. Thank you.
Mid-level in the suite, somebody with a flash camera.
Dadila.
More juice on that serve.
Yeah, 103 miles an hour out wide.
Net whistle.
Oh, perfect point from Safarova, but just can't finish it. Wozniacki just extracts the mistakes from her opponents. Good movement.
Wozniacki gets the best of that little exchange.
Deuce.
Just phenomenal defense from Wozniacki. Remember when Wozniacki ran the New York City Marathon, we thought, okay, this is going to be trouble. She's going to lose the fast twitch muscles, but she actually got better. Here she made it back into the top 10. Got to the finals of the US Open again, second time.
Yeah, she's got her inside out. Finally ends that exchange.
Advantage, Safarova.
It's like a chess match against Wozniacki. How can you get her out of position? It takes combination of shots.
Game, Safarova. New balls, please.
Well, it seemed like it was going to be an easy game at 40 love. She had to do a bit of extra work to get her third game on the board. Of course, last year for Safarova, that was a real signal for her to get back into winning her home title in Prague.
Yeah, that was huge for Lucie. I think she was 0-5 for the year going into that tournament, and then finally wins a match and then wins the whole tournament. Got her back on track.
Adding a bronze medal at the Rio Olympics alongside Barbara Strycova in the doubles. Adding to her impressive list of achievements in the game.
Where has that been all evening?
We've been talking about the swing volley, at least the possibility of doing it, and she did it there.
And she hits this beautifully. It's not like she doesn't feel comfortable doing this. It's just so obvious that it'll end the point sooner. Robs time from Wozniacki.
Yeah, Wozniacki is just so tolerant in the rally. She can go very deep. She's not going to give it to you. You're going to have to earn it.
Yeah, targeting that backhand of Safarova. Saying, beat me with that shot.
She got herself in the right position. I mean, that really is the shot that's required. She hasn't played many traditional volleys. She hasn't sort of hit an approach shot and come in. Point for 4-3 for Wozniacki.
Terrific angles from Safarova. She needs to hit him a lot of penetration like that in order to finally get the winner. Accelerated racket head speed. Body serve from Wozniacki.
Advantage was
Giving Safarova some of her own medicine with those slice serves.
Cleared the net, it would have been very effective.
Deuce.
So back to deuce.
Net is advantage was
Can't quite convert that one. And again, finally able to finish. She had to win that one a couple of times. So she's trying to keep the accelerator on, trying to keep the pressure on Wozniacki. Deuce for the third time. The seventh game right in the heart of this second set.
Miss Safarova challenging the call on the left baseline. Balls pulled out.
Yeah, she's had a couple of close ones on that baseline, so I'm not sure she completely trusts what happens down the other end. Here's what the Hawkeye tells us. That one just misses.
Advantage was Yaki. Miss Safarova has 2 challenges.
Yes, Wozniacki, a clean winner. from behind the baseline. I don't think Safarova was expecting that. So 4-3 now in the second.
Wozniacki leads 4 games to 3.
She's a former world #1, trying to make the Final Four here at the Miami Open.
Time.
In a battle here with Lucie Safarova. She's got the first set. We're on serve in the second. And Safarova has had plenty of chances tonight. She hasn't maybe been at the height of her powers, but she's been competitive. And here she is now in the 8th game.
Just looking at Wozniacki's results here in Miami, I'm kind of surprised that she's only made to one semifinal. Nicely done. So good on hard courts, Wozniacki. Best surface. Also 3 other times to the quarterfinals.
Well, that was a good exchange.
Yeah, aggressive point from Wozniacki. Terrific court positioning.
15.
Wrong-footed Wozniacki there to get the short ball.
30-50.
Yeah, Wozniacki just makes it tough to win every point.
So engaged mentally. Never has a lapse of concentration. That's a perfect point from Safarova. Look at that, 80 miles per hour. It was halfway up the box.
40-50.
Such an extreme slice.
Yeah, it gave her a very big target to hit into on her next shot. You might remember her last service game. She was up 40-love. Wozniacki got it back to deuce before Safarova closed it out in the next couple of points. Want to avoid that kind of pressure at this point in the match.
Good deep return. Safarova on her heels.
Deuce.
Boy, immaculate depth on that forehand. Here's a break point.
Advantage Wozniacki.
Wow, such a critical moment there. Comes up with the ace, so tough to read, well disguised. Just cool as a cucumber. Never know what the score is with Safarova.
Advantage Wozniacki.
Well, back into the pressure now. A double fault to bring up another break point chance. Where will she go with this first serve? Right on the line.
How do you solve that riddle if you're Wozniacki? That ball is just, it doesn't have a lot of pace on it. Reminds me a little of the Dementieva slice serve. Do you remember that second serve that she had? It was just, it doesn't have a lot on it. You've got to create the pace. But you leave so much wide open space to cover.
Advantage Safarova.
Boy, that's a lot to ask of yourself, converting that. It was a very up-tempo play.
Deuce.
So a little wild, and back to deuce we go again. You can see the length of this game. The longer it goes, the more important it becomes.
Just feel it's a must-win game here for Safarova.
Advantage
Another break point opportunity here for Wozniacki. Now, which serve do you defend? Because if you move over to your left visually to cover the wide one, Safarova can send it up the tee. I think I would maybe move forward 1 foot.
You know, Wozniacki up inside the baseline for this second serve. And she gets the break. It was an excellent return of serve, ultimately neutralized, but it certainly set the tone for the point. She was aggressive and was rewarded.
Wozniacki leads
And again, with that lob forehand from Wozniacki, helped her to bring the point back to neutral. Safarova just has not been able to problem solve those high bouncing balls up above her shoulder.
So serving for the match, serving for a spot in the semifinals.
Winner of this to play Pliskova.
Wozniacki telling the call on the right near side. The ball's put in.
Yeah, the lines person, you see, signaled it was in. And Wozniacki's not going to let her get off with that one easily. Catches the edge of the line.
15 on. Miss Wozniacki has 2 challenge rounds.
Yeah, 108 right down the tee to get the 30-15.
30-15.
This is where so many match wins comes in handy. Confidence to just close a match out.
Yeah, there's that ball up high on the forehand. So that gives Wozniacki a match point. Yeah, there it is. Caroline Wozniacki toughs out a straight set win.
And her terrific year continues. She's just so solid. Still has not lost a set into the semifinals. For only the 2nd time in Miami.
Yeah, that was a great effort. You know, Safarova started off so well with a break early. It looked like it was, well, maybe Lucie's day, but Wozniacki just hung around, made it tough for Lucie, and in the end, that was enough.
Yeah, she served well. Like she started to read the Safarova serve, and this is still an excellent tournament, the furthest she's ever gone in Miami as an unseeded player, but her ranking's going up, so good news for Safarova overall.
Yeah, the semifinals in the bottom half then are set. Karolina Pliskova, a winner earlier today over Lucie Safarova, will take on Caroline in the semifinals. How do you see that one going down?
Well, they just played a few weeks ago, and that was in the finals of Dubai, and it was Pliskova who came through. But these are definitely, without a doubt, the 2 hottest players on the tour. They have so many match wins in 2017. Contrasting styles.
So Wozniacki, Pliskova, they are through to the semis. Here's a 4th round match, and this one is coming up next. We've got more great tennis. Nick Kyrgios and David Goffin. Boy, plenty in this one. The young Aussie taking on the veteran player out of Belgium. This is going to be a good one. Hope you can stay with us here from Crandon Park in Key Biscayne. A spot in the quarters on the line for Kyrgios or Goffin. So, Sweet Caroline